For data guzzling AI companies, the internet is too small. That's right. Companies like OpenAI, Microsoft, etc. think that they do not have enough data about you and me in order to properly train their AI bots. And they make it clear here that it would take something that is vastly superior to the entire size of the internet, as in the entirety of the internet, the entirety of it is not enough. All the Wikipedia entries, all the Facebook, all the Instagram, all the Twitter, all the X, all the Internet Archive, all of it is still not enough. They're worried that there's going to be a data winter. When you start having things like Geppetto 5, which need 60 trillion to 100 trillion tokens of data, these companies are super concerned that they don't have what's needed. It's an absolutely mind-boggling number of data points that these systems need. How much energy is required? There's a 50% chance that a demand for high-quality data would outstrip supply by mid-2024, and a 90% chance that it would happen by 2026. They have since become a bit more optimistic and plan to update their estimate to 2028. But it's still a big concern for them, apparently. Meta can mine hundreds of billions of publicly shared images and videos across its networks, including Facebook and Instagram, but it isn't clear what percentage of data would be considered high quality, nor what percentage of data would actually go into the models. This is the dirty secret of deep learning. It's throwing spaghetti against the wall. And as the data size increases, the cost of training increases because you have to retrain over and over again. And you have to have the power to retrain, and you have to have the money to retrain, and you have to have the storage to retrain, and then you have to have the money to power and cool and continue to run these larger and larger systems, because the kind of output quality that they get from the data sets that they already have isn't good enough. To the point where they are literally discussing, I want to see synthetic. Yeah, they are literally discussing experimenting with AI-generated or synthetic data as training material, an approach many researchers say could actually cause crippling malfunctions. You think? You think? This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Now we have this very weird one. Let's continue down this line. Meta pirated and seeded corn for years to train AI. Meta may have seeded corn to miners while hiding piracy for AI training. So essentially, Meta just sucked up everything that they could, including pornography. And in order to pass along the large amounts of data that they needed to pass along from point A to point B, they used torrents and seeders. What they had to do, though, was get some employees to seed this data from their homes. I'm not kidding. So they got some employees, as per court records here, because this is a court case. A pornography company called Strike 3 is actually suing Meta for taking its corn and seeding it. Meta was like, hey, there's so much data here. You guys need to take this home, and we have to seed it to a central DB. And because it got seeded across public seeders and torrents, well, miners got access to it. Now, of course, Meta is saying, no, we didn't do this at all. All the stuff that we did for data training is all reserved under our internal intellectual property. But the court case is moving forward, and it looks like Strike 3 has some pretty hard evidence to prove that Meta did indeed seed corn. In any case, we continue. As a result of all this, what's going to happen? Well, of course, the more data that you're going to want to have as part of your training data, you're going to need data centers. And the new data centers that Meta wants to create could gobble up millions of gallons of water per day. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the company plans on investing hundreds of billions of dollars to power AI. Here is a look at the Hyperion data center over Manhattan. I want you to have a look at this. This is the size of the data center, one data center among dozens across the country that they want to build to do training and running of these AI models. Now, the first center is called Prometheus, comes online next year. It's being built in Idaho. The next one is Hyperion, almost the size of Manhattan. This one should be able to scale up to 5 gigawatts over several years. Some of these campuses will be among the largest in the world, as most data centers can only generate hundreds of megawatts of capacity. Mega has also been staffing up its superintelligence teams. However, these giant data centers do not exist in a vacuum. The complexes typically brush up against local communities. These centers are not only power hogs, but also water hogs. There's a data center east of Atlanta, let's zoom in here, that has damaged local wells and caused municipal water prices to soar, which could lead to a shortage and rationing by 2030. The price of water in the region is set to increase by 33% in the next 2 years. Typical data centers guzzle around 500,000 gallons of water each day. 500,000 gallons of water each day. A gallon of water. Images. This here is a gallon of water, okay? This is 1.5 gallons here, but this is more over here. This guy is more like a gallon. 500,000 of those per day. But these forthcoming AI-centric complexes will be even thirstier. The new centers could require millions of gallons per day, according to water permit applications reviewed by the New York Times. Some of these applications have requests for up to 6 million gallons of water per day, which is more than the county's entire daily usage. What the data centers don't understand is that they're taking up the community wealth, he said. We just don't have the water. The same worrying story is playing out across the country. Data center hotspots in Texas, Arizona, Louisiana, and Colorado are also taxing local water reserves. For instance, some Phoenix home builders have been forced to pause new constructions due to droughts exacerbated by these data centers. So not only is the entirety of the internet not enough for these companies, but they also have to take up all the water they possibly can in an attempt to increase the capability of these systems, which are floundering around every corner. And in so doing, they have to take up all of your energy and water. And what do you get for this? Silicon Valley AI startups are embracing China's controversial 996 work schedule. It's a 72-hour work week, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Let me see if I can pull up the proper link here. Where is it? So what's happening is that as these companies are switching more and more to AI, what they're asking people to do is be excited. You have to join, but only if you're excited about a 70-hour work week, because China is implementing this work schedule 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And so with AI, the idea is you don't get to save work. AI is doing a bunch of work for you. And because it's not human, it means you as a human have to step up and make things happen even more. This is happening among Bay Area founders in Silicon Valley, and instead of AI saving you work and allowing you to have more time to spend with friends and family, these companies are asking you to work even harder. Are we happy with AI? Are we happy with this? Are we happy with the idea of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week? Because AI is saving companies so much work that they need you as a human to step up to the plate to compete with AI work output? Is this what you want? It continues. Meta, aka Mark Zuckerberg, posted this blog post on meta.com/superintelligence. I'm going to read this as if I am Zuckerberg himself. I'm going to embody and personify Mark Zuckerberg. 1 second, let me get into character. Over the last few months, we have begun to see glimpses of our AI systems improving themselves. The improvement is slow for now, but undeniable. Developing superintelligence is now in sight. It seems clear that in the coming years, AI will improve all our existing systems and enable the creation and discovery of new things that aren't imaginable today. But it is an open question what we will direct superintelligence towards. In some ways, this will be a new era for humanity, but in others, it is just a continuation of historical trends. As recently as 200 years ago, 90% of people were farmers, growing food to survive. Advances in technology have steadily freed much of humanity to focus less on subsistence and more on the pursuits we choose. At each step, fellow humans, people have been able people have used our newfound productivity to achieve more than were previously possible, pushing the frontiers of science and health as well as spending more time on creativity, culture, relationships, and enjoying life. I am extremely optimistic that superintelligence will help humanity accelerate our pace of progress, but perhaps even more important is that superintelligence has the potential to begin a new era of personal empowerment, where people have greater agency to improve the world in the directions that they choose. Realign voice modulation protocol. As profound as the abundance produced by AI may one day be, an even more meaningful impact on our lives will likely come from everyone having a personal superintelligence that helps you achieve your goals, create what you want to see in the world, experience any adventure, be a better friend to those who you care about, and grow to become the person you aspire to be. Meta's vision is to bring superintelligence to everyone. We believe in this it's a slow down protocol activated. This is distinct from others in the industry who believe superintelligence should be directed centrally towards automating all valuable work, and then humanity will live on a dole of its output, fellow humans. At Meta, we believe that people pursuing their individual aspirations is how we have always made progress, expanding prosperity, science, health, and culture. This will be increasingly important in the future as well. The intersection of technology and how people live is Meta's focus, and this will only become more important in the future. Activate pitch modulation protocol. If trends continue, then you'd expect people to spend less time in productivity software and more time creating and connecting personal superintelligence that knows us deeply, understands our goals, and can help us achieve them will be by far the most useful. Personal devices like glasses that understand our context because they can activate adverse deep voice protocol. We believe the benefits of superintelligence should be shared with the world as broadly as possible, fellow humans. And so anyways, you get the point. Essentially, what Zuckerberg is talking about here is a personal superintelligence, and he's asking you to put your trust in him to manage it. And what he hopes will happen out of these superintelligence beings is that you're going to have glasses like Cluely, the sham fake company like this that encourages you to cheat on everything by just essentially, it's just going to be AI bots talking to AI bots. You're going to be, here's some use cases apparently. You're going to run this, you're going to put it on your glasses, you're going to be talking to someone and it's going to pop up their information and whatnot, and you're going to be able to like go on a date and understand what the person next, in front of you likes, whether they like flowers, which type, etc. You're going to be able to cheat on everything. You can come up with like schedules to like cheat on your wife and stuff. This is the kind of shit that Mark Zuckerberg would like you to have, fellow human. Trust me, superintelligence will be completely and utterly life-changing in a positive way. Give us all your trust. Meta will make sure that we usher you in to this new world. You will wear glasses so you can experience the world in any way you want. This is where this kind of crap is headed. That's the world that we're looking at.